We just recently seen Evergrande file their bankruptcy, which was bad for the markets. But what if another bank bites the dust, and a big bank at that, here in September, guys, right? Today we're going to be talking about how we are probably nearing the end, or near the end at least, from Kim.com. Sirens should be sounding 24/7 across America. What is he targeting this tweet towards, though, right? Natural disasters, the markets, the current financial system, right? Sirens mean danger imminent. That's where America is heading, or already there, by the way, right? The storm is upon us, so to speak. Interesting. September gonna be interesting, don't you think, Kim? Sure will be. Today we're about to expose it all on the table. First things first, we shouldn't be too worried. Why? Because from BC Backer, the top isn't in yet. Why? We actually talked about this before. From Elizabeth Warren, she posted this 2 days ago, but look at the likes. 22.2k likes, guys. So many people are supporting this idea. Pay very close attention to the narratives that are being brewed upon. This isn't controversial outside of Washington, okay? Members of Congress and their spouses shouldn't be allowed to own or trade individual stocks. I've got a bipartisan bill to put a ban in place, and I'll keep fighting to get this done. Wow! Guys, this is absolutely crazy. These people are quite smart, and people are falling for it, right? This is why you watch this channel, because we'll always be 5, 8, 9 steps ahead, guys. Not financial advice. Well, obviously we always can't be, but at times we will be, such as now. Why? Check this out. But for real, it's genius. The tactics or the plans they are pushing forward, because nearly 100% of people support that Congress shouldn't be trading with insider or inside information. Right? Because that's illegal, guys. Most definitely. Why? Because they have the upper hand, right? The edge against retail, we the people. For that, they'll get away with this, right? Banning themselves, by the way. Remember, oh my, this is the craziest thing in my life. But we can guess what happens once the Fed and Congress are out of the market. Meaning what? So when the bill gets set in place, guys, right? Set in stone, and now Congress and their spouses are not allowed to trade individual stocks, that's when the market will top, right? This, again, we will have several warning signs, right? Imminent danger, such as this is one of them, guys, right? And this is how we know we're not at the top yet. Not financial advice, but when the ban occurs, guess what's going to happen? Equities doom. That's when I believe we're going to see the collapse, and then the dollar rises like the phoenix. And isn't it fascinating that the BRICS narrative is accelerating right before all this occurs, right? People will get wrong-footed again, guys. They always do. People will think the dollar will die, but at the end the dollar rises. Like what? The phoenix. Pay very close attention, not financial advice, because we always have known when asked about attending Jeff Bezos' lavish party in January 2020, only weeks before the stock market crash, Jerome Powell responded, quote, "I don't talk to anybody," end quote. So here we see, who do we see right here, guys, right, in questioning or being questioned? We see Jerome Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve, and they control and dictate where the markets will head to next. And this person right here asks Jerome Powell, where were you during this ritual, or when this picture was taken? He stated that it was Jeff Bezos's lavish party, right, back in 2020, January of 2020. A few months later, what happened? You guys remember, right? Which literally collapsed the markets. And now, do you believe that there's really insider trading going on? Of course it is. Why do you think these people become rich and wealthy overnight? Literally, right? As you guys can see right here, free market economics died when Powell attended Jeff Bezos' lavish 1% party in January 2020. This was at the peak of emergency repo operations, right before the repo was pulled back, leading to the crash. They all knew that what was going on 6 months ahead of time, right? As you guys can see right here, what really occurred. And this is where Elizabeth Warren, the knight, by the way, right, or the protector, comes in place and tries to defend we the people. but actually she's over here trying to defend herself and themselves. It's the funniest thing of my life, because when the collapse occurs, they're all going to be in what? Dollars, gold, silver, and maybe even cryptocurrencies a little bit. I don't know about cryptos, guys, but most definitely in dollars, 100%, right? Not financial advice. They're about to protect themselves. This plan, this game plan has been laid. I don't know how long, guys. This is absolutely just ridiculous if you think about it. But now we're truly nearing the end, because from Johnny Deason. Before reading the stats, please consider the significance of what the number $1 trillion or 1 trillion equals. 1 trillion seconds equal 31,000 plus years. $1 million per day, every day from the date Jesus Christ was crucified until today, does not even equal $1 trillion. What? And now let's read the stats, okay? Current debt levels, by the way. Household debt, $17 trillion. Mortgage debt, $12 trillion, is all built on debts, guys. This, again, why we're nearing the end. Again, the reset needs to occur. Auto loans, $1.6 trillion. Credit card debt, $1 trillion. People can't even afford food, put food on their table, so now they're borrowing more money, guys, right? Come on, guys. We got student loans, all types of loans. America has been built on debt. That problem is an understatement. Most definitely is. It means what? Something is about to break, guys, right? Something has to break, which will have a domino, a waterfall effect to everything else. United States government debt, but before it all breaks, they're going to ban themselves. And everyone will be glad and proud of Elizabeth Warren, but should we really? United States government's debt, well, but why the hell didn't they ban themselves 10 years ago, right? Because they knew the markets were going to pump, so they took advantage of buying, insider trading, becoming rich and wealthy. Come on, guys, it's the funniest thing in my life. It's not really funny because it's not fair, right? We need a level playing field. Now, after that point, when a new financial system goes live, maybe then we'll get a level playing field for them and us, right? We'll be on the same field. United States government debt will rise by $5.2 billion every day for the next decade, guys. You can't make that stuff up again. There needs to be what? It's not sustainable, a reset. Now we get to the juicy part of the video. I was told I am wrong for warning of a credit event. S&P downgrades multiple United States banks, citing quote-unquote tough operation or operating conditions. Here we go, guys, right? It's about to begin, right? It's about to begin. I don't know if this is the big one when it does, though. Shares of several United States banks fell on Tuesday, the day after ratings agency S&P 500 Global followed Moody's in cutting its credit ratings on some regional lenders with high commercial real estate (CRE) exposure. When we talk about high commercial real estate or real estate in general, breaking: United States existing home sales slide to the lowest rate since 2010. No one can afford to move with 7 to 8% mortgage rates. There you guys go, right? There needs to be a reset, a collapse, guys, right? And when the collapse does appear, I believe the housing market will literally die as well, right? No markets are safe, guys. Literally none, right? And this is where, if you have the money, right, hopefully before the collapse occurs, cryptocurrencies go on a rampage. You take profits, most definitely. Not financial advice. Well, I will, and then we could start buying homes and stuff like that. We could diversify our portfolio, right? Now, and then we see S&P's action will make borrowing more costly for a banking sector aiming to recover from a crisis earlier this year, with 3 regional lenders failed, prompting broader industry turmoil, guys, right? Again, this is what's happening as we speak. Quote, some of the structural aspects for banks regarding their balance sheet remains risks to banks as the Fed continues to try to anchor inflation with higher rates for longer, end quote. There you guys go. S&P on Monday cut ratings on Associated Bank Corp, right? Valley National Bank Corp, funding risks and higher reliance on brokered deposits. And then it also downgraded UMB Financial Corp and all these other banks, guys, right? Basically. And then it fell the stock prices as well. So it seems like there's about to be more turmoil on the horizon, guys, right? This is what they're basically stating, guys, and especially the Standard & Poor's, right? They cut down. America was cut down from, I think it was AA plus to AAA or something like that, guys, right? Again, these are all the warning signs, because here we finally go. Check this out. Charles Schwab right here, right, owes 130% of their total equity capital to short duration FHLB loans that have to be paid back soon. Total assets, $350 billion. There's your September Lehman Brothers. Okay, so if the past proves the future and the future proves the past, check this out. Because Bear Stearns collapsed on March 16th, 2008. Then Lehman Brothers collapsed on September 15th, 2008. Okay, this year, what happened? Silicon Valley Bank collapsed on March 10th, 2023. Okay, what's going to be the next bank on the chopping block? Charles Schwab collapsed or will collapse on September 15th, 2023. Right? If history rhymes, or if history repeats, or at least rhyme, we're about to see what's about to occur, guys, right? Not to mention confirmation that Swift is upgrading message standard November 2023 for the tokenization of assets. 2023, interesting, right after a banking crisis, possibly. Charles Schwab, probably nothing, right? And then look what they talk about over here, guys.
And really, the only hope left is to print the Fed to print its way out of the mess. That's what sovereign countries do when they borrow money from parasites instead of printing their own money. But that's where we are. It's going to try to print its way out. The problem, though, when you try to do that, is you get inflation. So what the Fed needs, it needs a control system where a central entity like the Fed can delete money out of accounts. And CBDC would enable the Fed to do that.
Such as, again, this is all a damn ploy. When we talk about CBDCs, guys, from Ripple, over 90% of central banks are now exploring CBDCs, right? I'm telling you guys, the narratives are brewing, which we'll talk about this news in another video. But back to Charles Schwab, probably nothing, okay? Check this out.
And we do want to bring you some breaking news. This on Schwab. Schwab to cut jobs, and as a result, it sees costs from those job cuts as high as $500 million. It also plans to close some corporate offices and sees most of the costs from those job cuts, again, about $500 million to be incurred in the second half of this year, Scarlett.
Yeah, this is all planned to cut operating costs and primarily be done through lower headcount, as you mentioned, and professional services. Stock moving slightly higher after trading up by 0.75%.
There you guys go. This is our black swan. I believe so, guys, right? Charles Schwab to cut jobs, close, and downsize some corporate offices with expected costs of $400 to $500 million. Perfect timing for the storm in September, possibly. Not financial advice, I don't know, but everything seems coordinated to hit in October. Student loan payments resume. Government budgets shut down October 2nd. This locked space downs maybe soon as well. I have been hearing there's another of these things upcoming, which we'll talk about maybe in another video, guys, and it's being planned ahead of time. I don't know. Bank failures, right? And emergency alert test for October 4th again. So many things are occurring as we speak, guys, or will soon to be. Not financial advice, but the student loans borrowers are refusing to pay their bills, right? People are fed up. There needs to be a reset, a collapse of multiple magnitudes, guys, right? If you thought 1929, 2008, 2001, those recessions or Great Depression or the Great Depression was bad and worse and horrendous, wait till you see, not financial advice, this next one. Because it's going to be something new, which will be called, I don't know, because it will be so catastrophic. Now, financial advice, let's see what happens in the future, guys. But I do believe, in conclusion, the collapse is near. This decade, 100%, in my humble opinion, not financial advice. What is that, Sophia's amazingness? See ya. And they're going to time it correctly, impeccably, and perfectly. Not financial advice. Wow.